Oh, what's up, you guys? Happy Friday! All right, I'm rolling solo. My chair seems really low. What's happening? All right, it's so weird to be live without Brandon. So let's just imagine Brandon's here. I am jumping on here. He's at the gym till it's going to be late. And I knew by the time he got home that there was going to be no energy on my end. Hi, Amanda. There's like no way I can function at 7:15, 7:30 at night to do a live video. So for a lot of you, that might seem really early. Hi, Katie. But when you get up at 3:20, 7:15 at night is just way too late. So what do I want to talk about today? So I had this like imaginary conversation with myself. Hi, Nate. About what would we be talking about today? And we had a couple ideas, but I wanted to talk about something that is kind of striking me. So I do meditations in the morning. Sometimes I do ones I've created. Sometimes I do ones from my mentor. Sometimes I just search YouTube. And often when I search YouTube, I feel like I truly let God and the universe like take the reins of what I need to hear that day. And so today, I don't even know what I searched for, but the meditation was Joe Dispenza meditation, who I really like Joe Dispenza, but I haven't yet really dove into his material, right? Until today. So I listened to his meditation. At that point, Sky woke up. So Sky's my 4-year-old. And when she wakes up, she wants to lay on the couch. She wants me to snuggle her. So I laid down and I snuggled her. Well, with YouTube, like it just plays the next video. So the meditation ended. And then an interview with Lewis Howe and Dr. Joe Dispenza came on. So I started listening to it and I just got drawn into it, right? And so it was such, like, I love Joe Dispenza because he's really good at connecting the spiritual sort of woo-woo, think about it and it will come, to the science behind why that actually works in your life and in your brain. So I listened to that interview and then I listened to another interview, and it was one of those things where sometimes in life you need to hear these things over and over and over and over again. And he said this today, and I thought it was so powerful. It was like, are you giving yourself permission to stay limited, right? And so he went over the concept, and this is what I want to remind you guys, is that if you believe, so answer this question for me, do you believe that your thoughts affect your reality? Do you believe that your thoughts affect your reality? Imagine most of you are going to say, yes, my thoughts affect my reality, right? If you have a thought, you understand it creates an emotion. That emotion creates a feeling. That feeling creates a way of being, right? And a way of being over time creates a mood. Over a longer amount of time creates a personality. Over a longer amount of time creates a personality trait. And then it just becomes who you are, right? So if we believe it to be true that our thoughts actually create our experience, then why don't we, or maybe you do, but a lot of us only think like negative thoughts create our experience. Hey, Zach, but that's not true, right? All of the positive thoughts and all of the living into who you want to be and all of that stuff also creates your reality, right? And so it's like, so when we talk about this, we're like, okay, well, if it's just that simple, right? What I think about will come about. I think a lot of us understand that, on an emotional level, but our logical mind is like, well, that's just not true, right? And Brandon and I were talking about this yesterday, because when we started on our journey, there was this question that for both of us was, it was like, we were raised in very logical minded fashion, right? Like my parents were not very woo-woo. A lot of this stuff didn't exist back then. And my parents are a lot more open to it now, but so it was very logical fashion. Okay, you want to make $1 million, you want to have this amazing house, you want to do these things. The next question is how, right? And so the problem is that when we do that and we think about, okay, what do I want my future to be? How do I want to show up? What I want to do? Then as soon as we go there, like the next limiting thing is like, you don't know how, right? You're already stuck, right? You're going to stay in this pattern. And we know that growth, I said this yesterday, growth is uncomfortable. And we will fight like hell to stay in our comfort zone, right? And so if we're like, well, I want to do X, Y, Z. I want to be this thing. I want to go for this dream. Our logical mind is like, that's really uncertain. So I'm going to go ahead and stay right here, even though I don't like it. I don't know how it feels, or I don't like the way it feels, and it's not serving me. But I know what it feels like. And if I stay here, then at least I know what it's going to feel like, right? So we feel certain in the feeling, even if the feeling isn't a feeling we want to have, because we have this fear of uncertainty, right? And so we give ourselves this like unconscious permission to be like, well, I don't know what it's going to feel like over there, and it might be scary and it might be uncertain, and then we snap back to where we were, right? But the coolest thing is that if we learn to change this one saying, and I heard this from my mentor like a couple years ago, if we learn to change it from I'll see it or I'll believe it when I see it, logical mind, I'll believe it when I see it, whatever that is, right? I'll believe that I make $1 million when I make the $1 million, right? That's just my example for today. Or I'll see it when I believe it, okay? I'll see it when I believe it. So here's the thing. If you want to change your life, you want to change your scenario, you need to take time every single day to create the thoughts, to create the feeling, to give yourself that vision in your mind of that feeling, right? And so if you can see it in your mind, if you can play it, if you can see your dream life, the business you want to have, the house you want to have, the marriage you want to have, the love you want to have, whatever it is, see that in your mind. Your body doesn't know the difference, right? Your body doesn't know that that's not actually real, and those become the thoughts that you think, right? So every day you think like, I don't even know, 70,000 thoughts, right? And 90% of them are the same thoughts you had yesterday, right? So if you're over 35, you have all the same thoughts almost all the time that you've been having for the last 35 years. So what if you start a pattern interrupt and you go, no, this is my new way of thinking. This is my new consciousness. This is my new awareness. And you just start to bring light to that. And you start to go, okay, what do I want? And you spend time being in that feeling, vividly seeing, imagining those things. That's what's going to start to come about for you, okay? Not where you are. So if you want to shift where you are, you have to first be in the feeling, be in the intention, see the vision of where you want to go and spend time in it. And if you do that every single day, your life will start to shift, right? And it's not just woo woo. It's like, it's actual science in your brain. I'm like now going to go down this big Joe Dispenza hole. So, but it's like, it's the stuff that I know and I've known and we teach. But it was like stuff that I just needed to rehear today, right? And so when we talk to you guys, right, we're episode 64, we're going to start saying the same things over and over and over again, because it's not that crazy, right? There aren't these like, okay, there's 20,000 steps to get from where you are today to shift into the life that you want, right? It's not. It's awareness. It's curiosity. It's simple steps that you can take to shift from where you are now to where you want to go to create a completely different life in the next 12 weeks, 14 weeks, 16 weeks, in the next year, right? So you're going to hear us say it over and over and over again. And you might be starting to think like, how can it really be that easy, right? Because that's what I thought. Like, how can this really be that easy? Because you have to stop giving yourself permission to stay stuck. You have to stop giving yourself permission to stay limited. You have to go, okay, I want to grow, and growth is outside of my comfort zone. So what does that look like? And maybe it's just living in the thought, right? Not even taking any action, but living in the thought of what that would look like for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes, right? Breathing into your body, getting connected, bringing awareness, just finding consciousness. And so that's my reminder, you guys, today, is that you are where you are because of the actions and the decisions you've made, right? Sometimes that sucks to hear. But the beautiful thing about that is that means you are the creator. You have all of the power to create where you want to go. And it simply starts in your brain. It starts in your thoughts. It starts getting into your body. It starts by breathing. It starts by being present and aware and raising your consciousness, right? And when you do that, it is your job to raise your consciousness, because when you do that, you're going to do it for your kids. You're going to do it for your parents. You're going to do it for the people around you, right? This is the ripple effect. This has been my mission since I started this, is that from this ripple, we get to change. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now that is not great, right? I mean, there were riots in Colorado. The scenario with the police officer and the guy that died from that act, it's terrible. I don't want to get into politics, but when you think about all of the things that were probably going on in both of their lives, it wasn't just that one incident, right? But the only way we can change this world and we can get the world to change is by changing ourselves first, right? You cannot go out and change the world until you change from the inside. So I'm asking you to take a minute to go inside, to look inside, to start to go, where do I need to shift and what does that feel like and how do I do it? Okay, so 2 invitations for you guys. The first is I do breathwork on Zoom every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you want to breathe with me tomorrow, drop me a line. I'll get you the Zoom link. I'll get get you the waiver, I would love to have you join me. It's a beautiful way to get connected to your mind, to your body, to your breath, and really allow whatever needs to come through, okay? Second invitation is we are going to start running a beta group. I believe we're going to do 12 weeks for 20 people, only 20 people that want to do our new beta shift program. So if you want to do this and you want more information, it's coming. It's not totally ready yet, but it's coming. So if you want that information, if you want to be part of this group, if you want to take the next 12 weeks, go from being unstuck, go from dieting, go from hustling, and shift into a life that you are motivated by, that inspires you, that makes you get out of bed every day. If you're ready to do that, then drop me a line, and we'd love to have you guys. So we won't be back probably tomorrow. We're taking weekends off, but Brandon and I will be back on Monday. So I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful, beautiful weekend. And if you have questions, you need anything, just let me know. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Thanks, Christine.